looking at ministry differently, looking at America differently, but walking this journey as she has, it's been pretty amazing trip for her. And I've watched her sometimes from afar, sometimes a little bit closer. Sometimes we wouldn't talk for a couple years, but then there was always something going on, and I have great respect for that. That's why I wanted you guys to have some time with her to say, okay, I get the story, it makes sense to you, I got it, but what does this mean to you? So we're going to open it up for maybe 20 minutes or so, and depending on how it goes. And if she said something today that registered with you, and you go, okay, but what about this? Okay, but what about that? Now you can see she's pretty open. She's willing to answer questions.
I couldn't help but to notice that even though you guys' stories are so different, but yet so similar, like your standards. I looked at Anna and I was like, oh my goodness, she sounds just like Pastor Bill, but buddy girl. But it's something that I met you probably about 10 years ago, probably 8, and something I noticed is that you're a great speaker all over the world, but you haven't lost your humanity. And I was just wondering, you're definitely a girl to look up to, and or a young woman. But has there been a point where all of a sudden realizing, okay, I'm up here, I'm with presidents, I am with all these honorable people? Has there been a point where it's been difficult for you not to think like that you are much better than everybody else?
Perfect question, because I have watched over the years how pride gets developed when success maintains to be external rather than internal. And let me explain what I mean by that. I was connected with a man by the name of Lutais out of Seattle, Washington, who started a company called the Pacific Institute. He's the one that gave me the idea to connect with presidents and to start influencing people on that level. Not that I didn't have the idea, I just didn't know what to do with it and how to get to it. But when we hosted the first 16 most influential people out of Bulgaria into the United States, when they left, we were going up the elevator, it was just he and I, and he said to me, so how do you feel about this? And I said, wow, this was amazing. And he looked at me and he said, don't ever say this was in past tense, because your brain will always register a current success with a past tense experience, meaning that you only accomplished it one time and you have no idea how you got it accomplished. Every single time you do something, always say to yourself, this is who I am, this is just like me, this is my normal. And when you assimilate success as normal, when you assimilate achievements as normal, they become a part of you. They no longer own you, you own them. And that was probably the biggest key for me, to see how many people can be owned by their successes, because in their brain, it's always, wow, this was amazing, I'm the big shot, I just did this one time. And the next time they do it again, but their brain never registered, because they continue to live their past in their present. And if in our past we have had failure, we will try to overachieve to feel better about the failure, rather than when we achieve something, we're assimilated as this is who we are. Metro Ministries and every one of us, this is who we are. This is our normal. Reaching the world is our normal. Reaching 145,000 is normal. Reaching 200,000 is normal. When you begin to assimilate it like that and think like that, then you no longer have the issue with pride, because really it's just normal. So I can be meeting with the president. To me, it's normal, it's part of my purpose. But I could be the next day meeting with a kid that doesn't have anything, and I'm like, that's a part of my purpose, it's my normal. So your brain automatically assimilates it as normal. But a very good question. I hope that makes sense, because that will set you free for the rest of your life.
Good.